When is it time for my child to have braces?
When should my child get braces? So this is a very good question. And for me, it's more important to constantly have your child's occlusion evaluated. So the occlusion is just the fancy name to say the way the upper and lower jaw relates to one another. So we want a class 1 relationship, not a class 2 relationship. This is where the upper jaw is growing quicker than the lower jaw, or a class 3 relationship where the lower jaw is growing quicker than the upper jaw. Each of these malocclusions have their own drawbacks and should be addressed appropriately. So when it comes to really small patients, I evaluate all my patients when it comes to their occlusion, and we set up a problem sheet as well as a solutions sheet for the patient. So when it is caused by a habit, we want to address the habit. If the patient is still very small, we will advise on some myofunctional exercises. So button pulls, sucking on straws, blowing bubbles, making the child aware of putting their tongue up in their palate so that we can address the habit. And by that means, try to start to solve the malocclusion. If, however, the child now, the malocclusion has developed, and now we have one of these relationships, what would happen is, if it is habit-based, I would initially start to break the habit using something like a MyoBrace. Most of the children around the ages of 5 or 6, I would then place them in MyoBrace, and then we can help to develop good oral habits, tongue up in the palate, breathing through their nose, and by this way, we can then control the growth in a way. Then again, I can intervene usually around the ages of 8 or 9, but this varies from patient to patient and it gets altered from patient to patient. Some patients have a dental age that's advanced and some have one that is delayed, and this will also correspond to their growth. So then around 8 or 9, we will sometimes do some growth modification, so the lower jaw will catch up, the upper jaw will catch up, the palate will be expanded, and we try and fix the occlusion before the child reaches 9 years of age. And then the child will then quickly have a round of some fixed orthodontic treatment, and then around the ages of 12, 13, we will then send or do the final alignment at our practice. So we don't believe in the waiting until the growth is finished. We want to modify the growth in order to grow a beautiful face with no midfacial deficiency and a nice broad palate so that the nose can be open so that your child can be healthy for life. Thank you.